In this video, I will be showing you how to get a legitimate shiny 3-segment Dunsparce in just about an hour or two. Yo, what is up you guys? It's Dominator here, and you heard it right. There is actually an extremely easy way to get yourself a legitimate shiny 3-segment Dunsparce without having to worry about the extremely low 1 in 100 chance to get the 3-segment. Before we begin, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Both are completely free and help me out a ton. It all started when I received a comment on one of my videos stating, Hardy Nature Dunsparce pre-Gen 5 have a 1 in 4 chance to be a 3-segment once sent up into Scarlet and Violet. I originally wrote it off as something that couldn't be true and asked where they got the info from, and to my surprise, they responded by quoting a page on Bulbapedia which states, since natures were determined via personality value prior to Generation 5, which itself is indistinct from encryption constants prior to Generation 6, a Hardy Nature Dunsparce transferred to Generation 9 will have a 1 in 4 chance of evolving into a 3-segment form to Dunsparce, whereas Dunsparce with other natures will always evolve into the 2-segment form. And this actually made a ton of sense, as the value that determines the form of Dunsparce wasn't introduced until Generation 6, and in Generation 3 and 4, the value that does determine that form of the Dunsparce also determines what nature the Pokemon have. Shout out to this commenter for this info. But this got me thinking, if Hardy Nature Dunsparce in Gen 3 and 4 have a 1 in 4 chance to become a 3-segment Dunsparce, wouldn't you just be able to use the ability Synchronize to make Hardy Nature Dunsparce a 50% chance, which would ultimately give you a 1 in 8 chance to get the 3-segment over the typical 1 in 100 chance? Well, the answer to that is yes. So I set out, looking for the most optimal way to shiny hunt a Dunsparce where I can use a Hardy Synchronizer to get a super easy shiny 3-segment Dunsparce. In Fire Red and Leaf Green, Dunsparce appears 100% of the time at 3 Isle ports, but there are a few issues with this. First is that the shiny rate is a 1 in 8192 with no way to increase the shiny rate, and the encounter rate is pretty slow here for some reason. On top of this, in Generation 3, out of battle effects for abilities only work in Pokemon Emerald, so you would be still working with the 1% rate of the 3-segment. So why not try Emerald where Synchronized works? Sadly, Dunsparce can't be encountered in Pokemon Emerald, outside of the Battle Pyramid, but you can't even catch those anyway. So we need to be doing this in Generation 4. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, you can find Dunsparce in the early area of Dark Cave. It's only a 1% encounter rate, but during a Dunsparce Outbreak, the encounter rate is raised to 41%, which is a lot better, but you would still need to be hunting at full odds at 1 in 8192, and you'd have a decently high chance of finding something other than Dunsparce as a shiny, making it about a 1 in 159,843 chance to find a shiny 3-segment even while using the Synchronized trick. Which leaves us to Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Much like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, you can get outbreaks of Dunsparce on Route 208, which will cause them to appear 40% of the time. And what's great about the Sinnoh games is that you get this little item called the Poke Radar. This item, when used properly, can effectively cause Dunsparce to appear 98% of the time instead of the usual 40%, and can increase its shiny rate all the way up to 1 in 200. If you want a more in-depth guide on how to Poke Radar chain, I have a whole section dedicated to it in my Ultimate Shiny Hunting Guide video that I will leave a card for on screen now. This is by far the best rate of getting the shiny 3-segment Dunsparce, so I had to put it to the test. And here's how I set up this hunt. To get a Pokemon with Hardy Nature and the ability Synchronize, there are a couple of effective routes to take. The first and probably easiest way is to use the Game Corner in either Fire Red and Leaf Green or Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You just get a ton of coins and mass purchase Abra. Abra can get either Synchronize or Inner Focus as its ability, so it's a 1 in 50 chance to get one that's specifically Hardy Nature with the Synchronize as its ability. But with the sheer number of Abra you can buy at a time at the Game Corner, you will be spending around 15 minutes to get one you're looking for. The other way is to use a Poke Radar in Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum and chain for Abra, Kadabra, Ralts, or Kirlia. I personally just went to the route left of Veilstone and Radar chain for either Abra or Kadabra, as together they are a 20% encounter rate. I would just chain them until my chain broke, then I would check to see if I got a Hardy Nature Synchronize. If not, I would reset and try again. This method takes longer unless you get really lucky, but you won't have to deal with trading Pokemon or sending the Pokemon up from a Gen 3 game. Next, we need to get the Dunsparce Outbreak. To do this, all you need to do is go to Dawn's or Lucas's house and talk to their sister. They will tell you what route has an outbreak for the day. It will most likely not be Dunsparce the first try, so you will need to leave their house, save your game, and set your DS clock to 11:59 p.m. Load your game back up and wait until the lights go out in the windows, then talk to the sister again. Keep doing this until she tells you there's a Dunsparce outbreak on Route 208. Then all you need to do is radar chain the Dunsparce with your Hardy Nature synchronized in the front of your party until you get a chain of 40 to get the max shiny rate. Then just run your radar until you get a shiny patch to show up. This took me about 45 minutes to get a 40 chain of Dunsparce, which can very well vary depending on how often you get perfect patches to show up or if your chain breaks. After getting the chain of 40, it took me about 30 minutes to get a shiny patch a couple times. I got kinda unlucky with the shiny patches, but let's be real, even going 30 minutes for a 1 in 8 chance at a shiny 3-segment Dunsparce is so quick compared to the usual rate. I ended up finding a total of 16 shiny Dunsparce, and 7 of them ended up being the Hardy Nature. So I have 7 chances to get a 1 in 4 rate shiny 3-segment Dunsparce. There are ways to check if the Dunsparce will evolve into a 3-segment before sending them up if you have access to backing up your save files to a PC and using special software to check a Pokemon's PID. But since I do not have any of that, I just had to send them up and hope for the best. So I sent my Dunsparce into my Black 2 copy by playing this goofy minigame. Then from there, I sent them into Pokemon Bank, and from there into Pokemon Home. At this point, I had to wait until Home became compatible with Scarlet and Violet because, yeah. After a few weeks of waiting, Home finally became compatible with Scarlet and Violet, and I was finally able to check if I got a shiny 3-segment Dudunsparce. And to my surprise, the first shiny I found doing this evolved into the 3-segment. I checked the other 6 Dunsparce and ended up getting a second 3-segment on the very last shiny Dunsparce I found as well. Overall, because I got pretty lucky getting the 3-segment on the first attempt, this only took me about an hour and 15 minutes to get. But obviously with RNG, it can be either better or worse. But if you suffer from bad luck doing this, you can always keep your Pokeradar chain going by putting your DS in sleep mode so the battery doesn't die. And if it takes multiple days to find a 3-segment, you can always just not save your game and set your DS clock back to the day that the Dunsparce outbreak occurred. This is what I did, and I was able to keep the outbreak as long as I wanted. But that's all I got for this video. Let me know in the comments if you plan to try to get this easy shiny 3-segment Dunsparce, or if you'd rather just go for the 1% one in Scarlet and Violet. And if this video helped you out, let me know by leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, ring those notification bells, all that good stuff. Be sure to join the domination, and I will see you in the next video.